Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is in a deciding moment while Ethereum is running into an important price level on the chart that we need to pay attention to. So definitely make sure you're watching to the end of this video. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin chart. And obviously, as I've been talking about for the last few days, we have an active bullish divergence in play after the price ran into important support. So technically, that is a bullish signal on the daily time frame that is playing out. And on top of that, over the last couple of days, we've seen a bullish cross in the daily MACD as well. So that's another bullish signal on the daily time frame. But the price of Bitcoin, as of recording this video, is currently running into some shorter term resistance, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin chart, specifically the 3-day Bitcoin RSI to start off with, because what we have here is obviously a bullish divergence, which is what I've been talking about for the last few days. Once again, that's when we see lower lows in the price action in the candle closes and higher lows in the RSI. And the last time we saw a bullish divergence on the 3-day Bitcoin chart before this one was all the way back here in the middle of 2021. But what we can also see in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI is the fact that it's currently running into this massive descending line of resistance that has been really pushing down the RSI on the 3-day time frame ever since the beginning of 2021. And as you can see here, pretty much every single time where the 3-day Bitcoin RSI runs into this line of resistance and then gets a rejection from that line of resistance, we end up seeing some more bearish price action, whether that's just a temporary correction like what we saw towards the beginning of 2021 and then we continue higher later on, or it's a trend reversal from more of a bullish trend into another major leg to the downside. But either way, historically speaking, what we've seen since the beginning of 2021, once again, is when the 3-day Bitcoin RSI runs into this important line of resistance and gets a rejection from that line of resistance, that is clearly a bearish signal telling us that we're due to see some more bearish price action. So right now, we're actually in a deciding moment where obviously we have an active bullish divergence in play on the 3-day Bitcoin charts, but the 3-day Bitcoin RSI is currently testing this massive descending line of resistance. So we're waiting to see whether or not we'll get a breakout here. And obviously, if the 3-day Bitcoin RSI does end up breaking above this massive descending line of resistance, then that would be another extremely bullish signal to pay attention to. But for now, while the 3-day Bitcoin RSI is still below this massive line of resistance, even though we do have this bullish divergence in play, telling us that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum, we are simply not in the clear yet, meaning that we can't really be confident in a full-on bullish reversal or anything like that until we start to see some more bullish confirmation, such as a major breakout in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI above this line of resistance, which we haven't seen just yet. And obviously, moving forward, I'll be sure to keep you updated on this chart in these videos and in real time when something significant happens over on my Twitter. So if you haven't followed me over there, make sure you're doing that. The link is down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But anyway, taking a look at the shorter term, this right here is the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And just in the immediate short term, talking about the next few hours and days, we are beginning to see some of that short-term bullish momentum fade away. If we're looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD, for example, the histogram is currently declining towards the 0 line. And obviously, if it crosses negative, that's when we see a bearish cross. And obviously, this is happening just after the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI entered well into overbought territories, which was telling us that we're due to see potentially a bit of a shorter-term call-off, whether that's a sideways consolidation or a bit of a short-term pullback. Just either way, something to help reset the RSI back down towards neutral levels, because at the moment, in the immediate short term, we're getting a little bit too overheated. And so that's why I mentioned in my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel that I wouldn't really be surprised if we do end up seeing a bit of a consolidation or even a pullback, perhaps during this weekend sometime or entering into early next week, that sort of time frame. And as of right now, when it comes to the important levels of resistance for Bitcoin just in the short term, I would first be looking towards this 50% retracement level, which is sitting at around 21.8 to 21.9k. And so far, the price of Bitcoin has gotten a slight rejection from that line of resistance as of recording this video. And anything above that level of resistance, if the price breaks above that level, then I'll be looking towards the golden pocket level of resistance, which is sitting at around 22.7k to 22.8k. And as for some short-term support, the price of Bitcoin Bitcoin recently broke above this previous 38.2% Fibonacci level of resistance and has now flipped it into new support with one successful retest at the time of recording this video. And so this level of support to pay attention to just in the short term is coming into play just above 21,000. As then anything below 21,000, I'll be looking towards this previous resistance level, which should now be acting as new support, and that's sitting at around 20.1k. So overall, when it comes to these sort of shorter term trends that are visible on the smaller timeframes, like the 4-hour chart, for example, as of right now, I'm currently more bullish than bearish in terms of the trend. But during this shorter term bullish trend, we're potentially due to see a bit of a short term call off, just some sort of pause within this short term bullish trend. But keep in mind, when we zoom out to the much larger timeframes, like the 3-day Bitcoin chart, even though we do have this bullish divergence, technically we have not broken out of this massive bearish trend because we're clearly still forming lower highs and lower lows on the much larger timeframes. And now, just before getting into the Ethereum part of this video, I'll quickly let you know that there's a massive Ethereum trading competition happening right now. And all you need to do to be eligible to win a share in this $100,000 prize pool is simply trade Ethereum. So if you're doing that anyway, you might as well try this out. And so if you want to check this out, or if you simply want to know more information, then I'll leave a link to this page in the description down below and in the pinned comments. And in fact, right now, there's actually 0 fees on all spot pairs over on Bybit, which is pretty cool as well. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily Ethereum chart. And obviously Ethereum is still continuing with the breakout from this falling wedge pattern, with the first technical price target sitting just above 1800, more specifically around 1830 to 1840. But just before Ethereum can reach that technical price target at just above 1800 once again, between now and then, there's an important level of resistance which we can view on the 4-hour Ethereum chart, and that is of course the golden pocket level of resistance, which is actually a small price range sitting in between 1800 and around 1820. So that there is an important area of resistance to pay attention to for Ethereum in the short term, because in case you don't already know, the golden pocket is the most important Fibonacci level, and it is the Fibonacci level that we most commonly see trend reversals at, which basically means it's quite common to see, for example, an uptrend running into this golden pocket, and then we see a trend reversal back into another downtrend. That is a common outcome from running into the golden pocket. And as the price of Ethereum is currently running into some important resistance, we're also seeing the RSI pretty close to overbought territories, telling us that we're due to see some sort of short-term cool-off sometime soon. And if we're looking at the 4-hour Ethereum MACD, looking at the histogram, this is slightly declining, telling us that Ethereum is currently losing a bit of short-term bullish momentum at the moment. And so, as I mentioned yesterday, I would not be surprised if Ethereum plays out a bit of a short-term consolidation or a bit of a short-term pullback, potentially over the weekend or entering into early next week. That sort of time frame is where I would expect some sort of pause within this short-term uptrend. But when it comes to the actual price trend, currently I am more bullish than bearish in terms of the trend. I just expect potentially a short-term pause within that trend. As now, zooming back out to the daily Ethereum chart, the price of Ethereum is still potentially forming this massive cup and handle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. But keep in mind, this pattern right now is not currently active because we're still in the formation phase. So for this pattern to actually activate, we need to see the price of Ethereum come up towards this horizontal line of resistance, which is sitting at around $2,000. And then we need to see a confirmed breakout above 2,000 in order to activate the technical price target further to the upside. But even though this is not currently an active pattern on the chart, it is at least something to pay attention to in case the price of Ethereum does end up breaking above 2,000, because obviously in that scenario, we need to be ready for this pattern playing out. And if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going up, down, or just chopping around sideways, check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money if the price is simply chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.